Howdy, everyone. It's Sam. Hope you're all doing really well. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel. And if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. We're up to the Conference Championships weekend. I'm here with Entertain House. And before we get into it, I want to just as always, hit the intro for the NFL show here on my channel. So. Yeah, dude. Yes. Entertain House, man. Long time no see. It's been a while. How you been?
Yeah, mate. Very, very excited. I've already put me leave in for work on Monday as it's going to be a huge conference championship. I think, look, last year in November, I put in that Super Bowl, but had a feeling the Kansas City Chiefs will be there and one win away from being back in the Super Bowl, which feels good.
How bloody good is it for you to be a bloody Chiefs supporter over the past 5 or so years, mate? Now, just quickly, what have you made of the playoffs so far?
Yeah, the playoffs have been very interesting. I think in the first week, in a 50-50 game, most people kind of took the Chargers, but obviously we had the upset of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We had the favorites of the Buffalo Bills last week going out. I think a lot of people were shocked. I think a lot of people were still expecting the Bengals, but I think majority of people were on Buffalo. As I mentioned, they were the favorites in regards to Super Bowl odds, and very disappointing loss for that situation. There's been a couple injuries there. Obviously, we'll get into one of my boys being injured throughout the tournament. There's been a few injuries there. The Giants bowed out. I expected that one. I was all over them in the first week against the Minnesota Vikings, and I was all against them against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I was right on that one. I think I went 3 from 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 3 from 4 over the weekend. I did go the Buffalo Bills. A lot of people did. Never doubt Joe Burrow. He is a one cool dude.
That's a nice wrap up, mate. And I remember us doing playoff previews this time last year. And I got to say, I think last year's playoff series was better than what we've copped this year. There have been more blowouts, more unfortunate results as far as the margin goes. I think last year's was a little bit more insane, but that's in the past. We're going to start talking about the here and now, bro, and the potential future by our tips. So the very first game is kicking off here in Australia Monday morning. It is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers, Monday, 6 a.m. House.
Sure is. Or 7 a.m. for me, but 6 a.m. for you. So for you New South Wales viewers, just in case you're thinking you need to get up an hour earlier there, that is Queensland time. So, yeah, the 49ers, obviously, they played did they play well? They played. I guess I can say they played against the Dallas Cowboys, and they were able to get the victory. Brock Purdy's done a nice job as the backup quarterback. Mr. Irrelevant, as I mentioned a few times, has become relevant. Look, as far as the backup goes, I think he was okay. I didn't think he was great, though. I didn't think he was great against the Dallas Cowboys. As for the Dallas Cowboys, I thought their offense has been really, really good. They were great against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just 2 weeks ago in the first time the Cowboys have beaten Tom Brady in his whole career. The 49ers are paying $2.18 to win this game. They are underdogs, and the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously first seed NFC, they are at $1.69. The bookies don't have this as a 1-point game. I was actually surprised to see that. I thought this was going to be that 1-point, 2-point kind of thing. The bookies are expecting a field goal from Philadelphia as favorites. This is 2.5. So, look, this is tough, but Jalen Hurts has had one of these MVP seasons. He's arguably been the second or third choice for the MVP of the season. And Philadelphia at home, their form has been a little bit weird, but then again, that form was without Jalen Hurts, whereas the 49ers, man, they are on 4 straight wins. They are just winning games and winning them well. But as I mentioned, I think there were some issues against the Dallas Cowboys. So The funny thing is, I compare this game against the Ravens and the Bengals a few weeks ago, right? The
Okay.
Bengals were able to win that game, but they didn't play great. They came to Buffalo and absolutely destroyed them. So, as much as I'm going with my tip here of the Philadelphia Eagles, I would not be surprised at all if not only the San Francisco 49ers make the Super Bowl, but flog this team. Because we've seen a few times where teams have looked shaky and then they've come out and roll the team who have been favorites to win the Super Bowl. Now, who is the current favorite to win the Super Bowl? I will let you know. It is the Philadelphia Eagles at $3.30. So, look, that's a bit of a strange one for me, but I think Philadelphia advance. And just quickly, I thought you were going to mention it, Sam, as well, but I did put out a separate video that even though they're not playing, we technically have an Australian going in the team to the Super Bowl, which is really, really cool. In Mitch, I always forget his name, Wishowski, I believe.
Wishnowski. Yeah.
Yep. That's the one. And Jordan Malieta from the Philadelphia Eagles from the O-line. So my tip is the Eagles. It's going to be a close game. I would probably lean towards the Eagles at the line, and I'm going to go with Philly 23-17.
Okay, dude, well done, man. That was awesome preview, bro. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of things. The Eagles and the 49ers over the past 2 years, they aren't a part of the same division. They have taken on each other twice over the past 2 years. Both contests were in both camps. The result has gone 1-1. Eagles have won 1, 49ers have won 1. And the result, the margin, was less than 6 points in both of those contests. So you're talking about a close game. Those past two results indicate that we're in for a close encounter again on Monday morning. Now, I want to go just quickly into the rushing defense and offense of both of these sides. Looking up the stats, the San Francisco 49ers rushing offense is in a round number 300 yards better than the Philadelphia Eagles. Defensively, this is where the Eagles, bro, this is where my tip starts to go a little bit like that, because the 49ers rushing defense throughout the entirety of the 2022 campaign has been 700 yards better than the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's not to take anything away from the Philadelphia Eagles defense overall. But if we're talking exclusively about rushing defense and offense, if the 49ers can get their rushing game on, I think there is a weakness there for 49ers to exploit over the Philadelphia Eagles. So again, the odds are $2.18. Correct me if I'm wrong. $2.18 to San Francisco, which I think there's a nice little bit of value there. I think I'm kind of surprised that it's not a little bit closer in that regard. Now, there is also breaking news, House. And I'll just get your quick reaction to this. Now, as far as team list news goes, the Philadelphia Eagles, everyone, by the way, all four sides that are still alive have niggling injuries, right? It's the end of the season. Of course, everyone's got injuries. And AJ Brown, the wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, is under a cloud. He should be right to play, but he's going in banged up. Conversely, the San Francisco 49ers, they came out with a full clean bill of health last weekend against the Dallas Cowboys. But look at this, House. In breaking news as of 5 hours ago, the gentleman on the right-hand side, San Francisco 49ers defensive end Charles Omenihu, was arrested on Monday morning for domestic violence allegations, but he has been released on bail. So,
sheesh.
Wow. There's a bit of drama happening.
This has got Michael Jennings written all over it. This is like a few years ago when Parramatta were playing the Rabbitohs. They were favourites to go to the grand final that year, and then all of a sudden, bang, that accusation of drugs came out that morning, and then it just stuffed up the whole week leading up to it. So 49ers like the Parramatta Eels right now.
Oh, that's a brilliant comparison straight off your dome, mate. But yeah, unfortunately, there's a bit of off-field drama there in the San Francisco 49ers camp, bro. And
There's
I'm
been
with
a
you.
few weird things with the 49ers, man. Have you seen the accusations from, I forget his name, but one of the coaches from the 49ers has said, as great as Brock Purdy has been for our side, that he is likely to come onto the bench for Jimmy Garoppolo if they play in the Super Bowl.
Wow, I didn't hear that, bro.
Yeah, there's a few things
Yo.
going on over at that side, which they're flicking the wrong switches right now.
Yo, man. Now, also, Christian McCaffrey as well, is also quite banged up too. So, yeah, man, a few interesting things happening over there in San Francisco. I'm with you just on the Dallas Cowboys and 49ers contest. I think the 49ers didn't play their best footy at all. They didn't play their best footy for about 3/4 against Seattle Seahawks. And just to quickly answer Robert M's question, 49ers punted us into orbit about 2 weeks ago or last weekend. But the 49ers, bro, I think they're there to be taken. And the rest for the Philadelphia Eagles to heal up and have that week off recently has helped them tremendously. Yes, it was against the banged up New York Giants, but they really put the Bunsen burner under the ass of the New York Giants. So I am with you. I am tipping the Philadelphia Eagles to win at home against the San Francisco 49ers and end their 12-game winning streak of the 49ers. So Philadelphia, for both Entertain House and myself, they are the first team to make the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Now,
since this is kind of that end of the season, I want to get your take on this for the punting perspective. Would you be on the Philadelphia Eagles -2.5, or would you be on the 49ers to cover that line? Also, the total point score. We love talking about defense, offense. They have this game at 46 points. I said 23-16. I am on the under.
Absolutely. I'm with you, man. This is, I think, of the two games that we've got this weekend, I think this is going to be the more defense-orientated game, bro. These are arguably two of the best defenses in the NFL. They're there in the penultimate round or penultimate week. I think the unders is absolutely the safe bet. And I think 49ers, even though there's not going to be many points, I think they can.
You think they'll cover the two? That would mean that you would have. That would mean that you have, say, a 23-22 victory or a 23-21 victory.
Yeah. I think it's going to be that close. It's the margin over the past two encounters is 6 points or less. It's going to go right down to the wire. Yeah, I think so, man. I think they can cover the line.
All right, I'm taking the $3.40 guys on the Philadelphia Eagles -2 into under 46 points. Let's move into our AFC game.
Well, dude, for sure, man. I can't wait to hear your reaction and your spiel on this, bro, because indeed it is Entertain House's team. Kansas City Chiefs are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals, not from Atlanta, but from Arrowhead Stadium. And what are the odds for this one, please, mate?
All right, the Kansas City Chiefs enter this game as outsiders at $2.02. You're getting quite value for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cincinnati Bengals are $1.80. So according to Sportsbet, the favorites for the Super Bowl is the Philadelphia Eagles against the Cincinnati Bengals.
And it's go on.
Yeah, no, you go. I want to hear your take first. I have a lot to say.
Yeah, I know. I bloody bet you do, mate. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals have won 3 in a row, dating back to last year, including that famous AFC Conference Championship game in Arrowhead Stadium. For the team list news, the Kansas City Chiefs have a problem in the wide receiver position. There are 2 injury fronts. They could return, but it is doubtful or it is questionable. Marcus Kemp and Mecole Hardman, wide receivers for the Chiefs, are on under an injury cloud, so they may not be able to partake. And for the Cincinnati Bengals, Alex Kappa, guard for the Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately, I think it was his hamstring, but he'll be missing. So of the two sides, Kansas City, unfortunately, is much more injured. And I've saved one name especially for you, mate.
Yeah, so obviously in the end of the first quarter going into the second, I think it's more going into the second because you had Chad Henne warming up with Mahomes going down with a sprained ankle early in that first half. But then in the second half, you had Chad Henne come up with an awesome drive. And it's really, I don't think people give him enough credit. It was literally a match-winning play. He threw down. It led to a touchdown on offense. So a massive play from Chad Henne. But in the second half, Patrick Mahomes comes back on. He threw for 196 yards. Just because I had him for 200, I can remember that because it failed. But that's still pretty good for someone who's throwing with an injury to throw a touchdown, come back, put that type of thing. It's definitely a hard game. You mentioned it. The Cincinnati Bengals have become an Achilles heel, a kryptonite, as you may call it, for the Kansas City Chiefs. And not only have they done that, they've done it at Arrowhead, which is just absolutely huge. A few key factors for this game. The Bengals have won each of their last 10 games. The Kansas City Chiefs are paying $2 to not only win, but to score first in this game. Now, I actually think that the Bengals are going to get a field goal first. Something just tells me the Bengals go up early 3-0. But $2 for the Chiefs to score first. They have done this at Arrowhead in their last 6 straight games. They have scored first. So that is insane value. Even though I'll be on it, I think that the Bengals there put points on the board. But obviously you mentioned that. Patrick Mahomes being under that injury cloud, he'll play. Regardless, he'll play. Whether they take him out in the first quarter and Chad Henne comes on to kind of bring on that Browns kind of situation from a few years ago. But that was in a divisional game. This is in a championship. We need Patrick Mahomes out there. We need our defense to play. It hasn't been there all season. However, the credit for the defense was huge. The defense against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Where has that been all season? My God, we've had some great running backs. We've had Isaiah Pacheco. I'm a huge fan of what he's been able to do this season, and he had a big game. But it can't be just offense. There has to be defense, and it was there. The reason it was there, and even though they're our Achilles heel, I am tipping the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl and advance over the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they can overcome adversity. I think Patrick Mahomes is on another level. He is the MVP of the season. You're going to see that in a short amount of time. People think Jalen Hurts could be up there or Joe Burrow, and it's definitely in discussion, but I think they'll be there. And look, I actually think that the scoreline that we've seen in the last 2 encounters, we're getting 3 in a row with the Kansas City Chiefs winning 27-24.
Yeah, holy yeah! I love the freaking passion, mate. Dude, this is still a very, very close, hard game to tip, bro. Patrick Mahomes did an ankle sprain last weekend, and look, to put a little bit of context, Tony Pollard for the Dallas Cowboys was stretchered off. It was said to be a high ankle sprain, but he actually broke his bloody leg and also had a high ankle sprain. And in just reading up on the old Google doctor, mate, if Patrick Mahomes can get out there this weekend, whether or not he wins or loses, that's going to be an incredible and absolutely amazing feat of strength and courage, bro. It's going to be incredible if he does it. But this Cincinnati Bengals side, I really don't know what the turning point for that club was, bro. It was before, I can say confidently, it was before their first matchup against the Buffalo Bills. But Cincinnati, it took them a really long time this year to get warmed up. And they just haven't looked back since they've turned that corner house.
It was week 18. It was week 18 when they're about $1.21, $1.31 at Cleveland, I think, against the Browns. And the Browns absolutely smacked them by 20 points. And from that moment, Cincinnati just continued to win games. They went, okay, this is our hiccup. We shouldn't have done this. We played stupid. And ever since then, they've just been going under the radar. They are, well, I think highest I've seen them about $12, but in recent weeks they are $8 into $3.45 or $3.60, sorry, to win the Super Bowl. That's a huge reduction. I know someone who put $100 on this team back in December, telling me that he was certain that the Bengals will go all the way, and he's not wrong at the moment, is he?
No, not at all. That's incredible. That's incredible, bro. I 3 wins in a row against the Kansas City Chiefs. When's the luck going to run out? But they've got a massive piece of luck in knowing that Patrick Mahomes is not going to be even 50% this weekend, bro. I really am struggling to decipher who I'm going to tip here, but I'm so sorry, bro. I think the defense has come to the foray more than what Kansas City has this year, as you alluded to just before. I'm going to go the Cincinnati Bengals, bro, to get 4 wins in a row against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be 1-12. It's not going to be a blowout like it was unexpectedly last weekend in Buffalo against the Bills. I'm going to tip the Cincinnati Bengals to win this one, 1-12. Scoreline off the top of me noggin, I think they can keep Kansas City to 14 points, but I think I'll go for something like a 20 points to 14 scoreline going the way of the Cincinnati Bengals, man.
There you go. You're going against me there. I think a lot of people are going the Bengals. The Chiefs actually were favourites at one point to this game. They were about $1.84 to the Bengals, $1.96. But as I mentioned, close money, but favouring the Bengals at $1.80 to the Chiefs, $2.02. So there you go. We're both got the Eagles in the Super Bowl, but we've got someone different from the AFC. Just quickly, I've got the odds here, which I don't know. So be careful with this. I don't know if Sportsbet will void your bet if the Super Bowl doesn't happen. But they've got all 4 potential matchups for the Super Bowl and the odds for that game. Now, they're all close to even money, mainly. You've got the Chiefs versus Eagles, which I have happening, and bookies can't split it. It is $1.90 each way. It is literally pick 'em. Even though the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl are currently paying $4 and the Eagles are $3.30, for some reason, that match $1.90. Your matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favorites to win the NFL at $1.86. Cincinnati underdogs at $1.94 in your matchup. Okay. The rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl, 2019 Super Bowl,
yes,
Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers, sees the Chiefs at $1.87 to the 49ers at $1.93. That is insane odds. And then the last one, the Bengals and the 49ers. I've seen a lot of people tipping this particular Super Bowl. A lot of comments on the NFL's Facebook page and things, and they can't split that one either at $1.90. So if you were to put money on this team and they did win the Super Bowl, you probably would be paid out. But if that Super Bowl doesn't happen, I don't know if you lose your money. There's not wording, but it's a great market.
No, that is a great market, and it's a really fun market, bro. So just to confirm, what's your Super Bowl house?
My Super Bowl is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Jason Kelce versus Travis Kelce.
Oh, man, that's such a good storyline, isn't it? That would be such a cool storyline. And then for me personally, I've got Philadelphia Eagles versus Cincinnati Bengals in Arizona. Jalen Hurts versus Joe Burrow. I believe they were part of the same draft, if I'm not mistaken, or they have history together. But Philadelphia versus Cincinnati is my pick. Let us know down below what your tips for the Super Bowl are by the end of Monday. House, thank you so much for your time, mate. Anything coming up over the next couple of days, mate? Surely.
Yeah, in the next couple of days, I believe, double check this, but I think it's Monday. I'll be putting out my NRL 2023, basically talking about all the signings for the year. So all the signings that are going to different clubs, really looking forward to getting that video out. And I think it is Monday. So that's not far away at all.
Good stuff, man. I can't wait to see your predictions as well and everything else, man, because the NRL calendar is about around the corner, man.
Yeah, that'll be coming out on Feb 27. So pretty much just before I go to LA, as I realized my first vlog will be March 23rd. So annoying, but obviously LA is going to be an absolute blast. So that rematch against the Penrith Panthers. But yeah, on the 27th of Feb, those predictions and the club breakdown Feb 1. And just quickly, guys, don't forget, 25th of February is the Sports Shed TV charity match. If you want to see me, Shaq TV, plenty of other content creators playing for Ronald McDonald House and the Mark Hughes Foundation, then get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Well, give me a couple of minutes and I'll also put that in the description box below. I'll get a link up there for sure, bro. So everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Hope your team wins this weekend. Unfortunately, Seattle aren't going to be there, but I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much, guys. Adios.
Thanks, guys.